Hey guys, welcome back to Wuchang Fallen Feathers. This is part 18, and we are jumping right in from the very last save shrine. So turn around from there and head on down the hill. We're going to go back over to where the child in a jar was standing at this bonfire. He's gone. If you fast traveled or entered the dream, he's gone and leaves behind the tattered paper, which is very important. It is a quest item. From there, you can climb up this windy hill, go around the tent that Shen Jing'an is in, and head behind it. We're going to go into this swamp area. You can see that there's a bow enemy there, one of those bird enemies. And this one is a red-eyed enemy. So we need to take him out. We know he's holding that sweet, sweet red mercury essence. So try and get behind him if you can. And do that. Cause a poise break. It takes a really big chunk of health off. This one isn't really too hard in my opinion, and especially if you can, get an effect going, like fire or something like that, you pretty much take him out, no problem. You get a brilliant red feather for your trouble, plus the red mercury essence, which is a free upgrade that you don't have to convert red mercury into essence. And over there, you can see that there is a ladder. We're going to go drop it down in a little bit. But before we go anywhere else, we have to tackle an inner demon. So I was checking all of my Jade Pendants to make sure that they are appropriate for this. And I am most likely going to use my temper. When you come back here, you'll see that the demon is going to manifest, and this is going to be inner demon number 5. So we're getting really close to getting the trophy for defeating 6 inner demons. To keep in mind that the inner demons that spawn when you die too many times and then it holds on to all of your red mercury, those do not count. It's only when you see the sign inner demon manifested. Those are the only ones who count. I think we're doing a pretty good job with this one. She's not too hard. She's using the dual blades, and we've seen those before, so you should be relatively comfortable fighting her with her using this particular weapon. And this one, I didn't even have to make any cuts in this one. I actually was able to defeat the red-eyed enemy and the inner demon back-to-back with no cuts, which is pretty impressive. I have died so much in this game, so, even something small like that makes me impressed with myself, because it is pretty tough. So once you defeat that inner demon, you're going to get another stone needle and a bow blood, and then behind where she manifested, there is a chest with a benediction inside. And from here, we're going to run back over to where the red-eyed enemy was, turn to the right, and we're going to drop down a shortcut ladder. We're not going to go into the rebel camp just yet. We're going to go and take out an optional boss before we take this main story path. But you can drop this ladder down, and if you take a look down there, you can see it doesn't look very welcoming. I don't think the rebels are going to take very kindly to us walking around in their encampment. So just drop the ladder down and then make your way back over to where we saw the white-robed elder. So that's around this path down to where we saw the child in the jar standing at the fire. And then cross the bridge. So this is back to where we entered this area, down that long ladder there. Turn to the right. The white-robed elder was standing right over here, and right next to him was another ladder. Let's take this path first. Slide down the ladder. just to show you, there's nothing over here. Don't drop down, you will die. We want to head over into this cave. You're probably going to want to light your lantern for a lot of this area. We do get a lot of glowy, sparkly things in this marshy area, but sometimes it can get kind of dark. Now, that large enemy there, I didn't engage with him. I don't believe he's a boss. I think he's just, you know, a really hard enemy and probably gives you something very good. But I did not engage with him. Right now, all I want to do is get to the nearest shrine. So, when you enter this marsh area with all the trees and you see that large enemy, you want to go over to the right. Follow the rightmost path. I did detour just a little to pick up some items. You will encounter some enemies, but none of them are super hard. Nothing to write home about. Just continue going right as much as you can. Sometimes the path isn't exactly clear. There, I'm just going slow so I don't draw attention to myself from that guy. Watch out, that guy's gonna explode. We're still going to the right. There'll be items to pick up along the way as well. And when you start going up the slope, you'll see this large structure here. There is shrine number 27 right there, and also the red clad lady is there. If you look this way, there's a tree over there. We're going to drop it down as a shortcut, and then here as well, there's another tree on the other side that we're going to be dropping down here as a shortcut, but that'll be much later. First, go and speak to the red clad lady, and this is a very important dialogue interaction. When she asks you the question, you have to make sure that you answer her with, I agree. If you say no, it will lock you out of a particular ending. So make sure to choose I agree when you speak to the red clad lady. Then come and offer up some blood at the shrine. So that way we have a new spawning point. And of course, we're going to go in our impetus. Looks like I have some essence, probably from that red-eyed enemy, and then I have enough to create a new essence. So just go in and upgrade whatever you feel you need to. You can also come into your tempering menu and take a look at that new needle. You can see it's much larger than the others. If you want to equip it, you are welcome to do that. I'm not going to do that at this time. So, once you're done here, we're going to go back the way that we came. There's really nowhere else for us to go right now. And continue going right. So basically, we're circling around this area, going to the right. We're circling to the right. There's an enemy right by the tree where you come out. This is not a very large area, by the way. It's relatively small. It's just very dense. When you come down this way, you're going to see an enemy that spawns other enemies here. Just take him out, but beware because across the way there is a summoner enemy. And we're going to be seeing a lot of summoner enemies coming up. They're really a pain. Like, really a pain. And there are a lot of them. So, pretty soon we're going to be changing up our armor. I think in the next, maybe not the next video, but the one after. We're going to start changing up our armor to help stop these summoners. Because some of them, they all do different things. That one throws a lotus spell at you. Some of them cause corruption. Some of them cause despair. So we have to fight against that. Anyway, go down the ladder. If you time it just right, you can get into a climbing down animation right when the lotus spell would hit you. So that will help you to get down the ladder, because otherwise he can hit you with the spell while you're on the ladder and then make you fall down and die. In this area, I'm just taking out these random enemies that are here. You don't have to do this right now, because when you come down the ladder, immediately to the right inside of this little tree hut looking thing, we have shrine number 28. You can stop and read the message on the body that's laying in front, and then go and activate this shrine. We're going to be opening up a lot of different shortcuts to get us back to this shrine relatively quickly and easily. So, once you've activated the shrine, you can do whatever you need to do here. I know we just upgraded and all that good stuff, but if for some reason you didn't, you have another opportunity to do it here. So from the shrine, turn around, and we want to go over to the left. There are little clam enemies that you may want to take out because they can surprise you, and there are large clam enemies. This is the first one. They're not hard. They're just really a nuisance. Don't let them snap their clamshell on you, and they also spit out bubbles that cause frostbite, so be careful of that. We're gonna take out this large clam enemy before we go up the slope. You get Red Mercury, but he doesn't give anything super special. So there's a slope right next to that large clam on the left. Go up the slope, beware of the dog. And if you notice, all the people that are here and the dogs, they seem to be deteriorating. They don't look right. Some of them have grown new heads. The poor dogs, their fur is completely gone. It's like they're being totally corrupted while they're here. Go up here first and take out this summoner enemy. He is a royal pain. You can continue along this upper path to take out the summoner enemies because they're really a pain. They summon other enemies to come and fight you, spell enemies, or they summon those giant lotus flowers, and it could make what we're about to do next very difficult if we have a summoner constantly pestering us. And just remember, if you do happen to die, before you go back and do what we're about to do, you may want to come in and take out these summoners first. So head back the way that we came. There is a burnt branch with an item on it. You can see it just to the left. You want to take out those summoners before doing this. We're going to grab the item, and then the burnt branch is going to break, and we're going to encounter inner demon number 6. So this one is really hard, mainly because we're in such a tight space, such a very small area. You may want to use your tempering on your weapon when you start this fight, because she's hard. I died to her several times before I was finally able to defeat her. She's very fast. She uses a spear, so she can hit you from very far away, and we don't have a very large area to move around in. So using that tempering, especially if you have the leech needle equipped, is going to help keep you from losing too much health too quickly. I'm using the spell that throws the red spear at her just because it kind of pushes you away from her and creates some distance when you use it. It's not super strong, but we're doing most of the damage with our longsword anyway. I just need to create space. Once you defeat her, you're going to earn the Quelling Madness trophy. That is for defeating 6 inner demons. If for some reason you missed an inner demon along the way or did not take it out, you will not get this trophy. You have to actually defeat all of the inner demons here. You can run around the area and pick up all of the items and then go up this slope here to drop down back into the main area. We're just on the far side of the shrine. It's like directly in front of it, but on the far side. So if you take the path and turn right, that will lead you immediately back to the shrine. So don't get too confused. Here I did go straight to take out that enemy. There's a clam enemy here. Take him out before you try to grab the item. Otherwise, he'll surprise you. And right here, we have a couple of options of different places that we can go. You can head back over to where the large clam enemy is and go up that slope to go up into the tree. Or you can turn around and go down the watery path that we were just nearby. You can tell that I died because all of these enemies are back, but that's okay because it allows us to get more red mercury for upgrades. Yeah, those used to be the little gatherer people, and now they're all mutated. I'm not exactly sure what they're gathering here. That note that's on the body said something about gathering stuff, but whatever it is in here, it's completely corrupted. I don't know if you noticed, but just on the outside of the building that the shrine is in, there's a ladder. We're going to make our way over to it and drop it down to create a shortcut. But we can't access it right now. So looks like we're going to head up the slope of the tree. Again, you may have to take out these summoner enemies as you go along. Standing up here, they're able to spawn enemies down below. So if you're at a lower level, they can spawn them. This one spawned the Lotus spell, which does a pretty good amount of damage. It's a pretty powerful spell. Continue along this path and you'll see there's another summoner enemy right in front of us, and to the left is another one of these little gatherer enemies. You may want to take out the gatherer first and then sneak up behind this summoner to more easily take him out before he can cast a spell. Continuing along the path, you'll see here there's kind of like a little tree hollow with an enemy inside, and they'll have another one behind you that'll kind of spawn. If you turn around, you can grab this brilliant or radiant red feather. I'm sorry, I couldn't see it. And then that path is blocked, but we're going to come up from the other side later on. Now take the path that we came from. This basically dead ends here. You can see an enemy over there, but we have to access him another way. So we've cleared all of this out on this upper level of the tree. Just make your way all the way back to where the large clam enemy is. And we're going to take the path further down where it was watery. You'll see the path that's directly across from the shrine. This area is not very large. It's a relatively small area, but it goes up and down a lot. So it's not super wide, but it's very deep. And it does get confusing. I got myself confused several times just trying to figure out the layout of this place because you're constantly going up and down trees in different levels of the trees, and some paths have no access, like you would access it from a way that you would never think to go. So when you come down this watery path, first off there is a bird with an orange feather. As you come down here, you'll see a small clam enemy, but where that yellow item is, a large clam enemy is going to pop up. So don't even bother trying to grab it. Just start swinging away at this enemy, because otherwise he'll hop up and snap you if you just try to grab the item. Once he's defeated, you're going to find Jade Pendant number 19 on the ground right in front of it. Continue along the watery path, and eventually it will dry up a little and give you a place where you can drop down, but you won't be able to re-enter. And that's okay, because we're getting ready to drop down a shortcut. So take out the enemies that are hanging out in this area. There are a few items scattered about as well. And then continue along this path. This is a really pretty area. It's very vibrant. Watch out for falling clams. Not something I ever thought I would say, but here we are. Continuing along this path, you'll see you can go up and left or down and right. Let's go down and right first, because this dead ends. It's just a whole bunch of enemies and one yellow item, which you may have spotted earlier. We just couldn't get to it. On the other side is where we took out the bird with the arm feather and first went down that watery path. So go pick up that item. It is a benediction. And then go up the path this way. Now this is where we came earlier when we went up the slope near the big clam and around the tree, and we got to the dead end. This is the other side of that dead end. Climb up the slope of this tree that goes off to the right, and here is where we're going to drop down the ladder that gives a shortcut to the shrine. So before continuing along the watery path, make sure you make a pit stop right here to drop down this ladder. Also, of course, you can stop and visit your shrine if you so wish. There, I'm going to use a little bit of my stored red mercury to get an upgrade. You don't have to do this. I don't want to lose all of my mercury. I've been dying a lot in the course of recording this, so I don't want to lose my red mercury. So I'm just going to use up some of the one I have stored in order to get a nice upgrade. When you're finished, head back up the ladder. Don't drop down just yet. Stay on this upper path. Go around this tree and take out this enemy here. I'm not sure why, but this enemy is carrying Glut's token and it's bloody. So that gives me the indication that Glut has passed on. Although he did say he was super hungry the last time we talked to him, and Shin Jing-an was not. She wasn't very worried about him. She was more worried about her dad, so who knows. You can drop down and take out that bow enemy. And then head up the slope back over into the tree areas. This is what I mean, like this area gets so confusing. Okay, so as you're going, be careful. There are things that can drop down and cause poison. It's not poison. What's it called? The green mist. I forget what it's called. Just be careful, because sometimes those bulbs drop and they can poison you. Then you want to come back to where we came. After you take out that enemy, come on the burnt branch, grab the item and it's going to drop you into a bird nest. Here, you want to run quickly, ignore the enemies that come up because there is a Bamboozling here and you don't want to miss him. This is Bamboozling number 11. And just so that you're aware, the Bamboozling could be triggered by you walking up and down and around all these different paths. So if for some reason you miss him, just drop off the side and die, and then respawn at the shrine, make your way back over here, and you should be able to get him. Then off to the side, you'll see there's an invisible floor. If you follow it all the way to the end, there's a chest with a benediction inside. So you can grab this if you so wish. This invisible floor is very easy. We have one coming up in a few videos from now that is not so straightforward. Anyway, this is where we came from. We dropped down into that bird nest. The Bamboozling was here. Off to the right is the invisible floor. Now we're making our way back up this main path. And here, this is back where we actually dropped down. So if you wouldn't have went onto the burnt branch and dropped down, this is where you would have ended up. So we really just made a big circle. So don't worry, you haven't missed anything. It may not seem like you just made a circle, but you did. So continue along the path once you drop off the stump of that tree. When you get up here, this body laying here is playing possum. So take him out. This burnt branch, don't drop with it. Quickly run over to it, grab the item, and turn around and run back. That one is delayed in its falling, but you don't want to fall. You'll just die, or you'll land with very low health on the invisible bridge. So just grab the item and then run away. Now, as we continue up here, we're about to get to a tree hollow, and there are 2 bow enemies inside, and they are quite difficult if they swarm you. So I am going to use my temper, and I'm also going to use the Echo of Dutanga. This seems to work well to keep them away from you. It will knock them down if they get too close. So just prepare yourself, because these guys are something else. It's not so bad if only one of them comes out right away, or if you can knock them down like that. But really, sometimes if you can drag them out here, sometimes they'll fall off the side and die. But don't rely on that. See how good that Echo of Dutanga is? It takes a huge chunk of health and keeps them away from you. So I made that look a lot easier than it actually was. When you come inside of the hollow where they were, be sure to pick up the secret letter. We need this to give to an NPC later. It's very important for storyline progression for certain endings. So grab that and then go through the hollow down the next path. When you get to this open area, over to the left, you can knock down that tree to create a shortcut to the shrine before you go and engage the enemy to the right, because the enemy to the right is a red-eyed enemy. We want to make sure we have this path opened up, because if we die, we want a quicker path back to him so we don't have to go all the way around. So off to the right over there is where the bow enemy was on the ground. It's right near where we went up the ladder to the shrine. This red-eyed enemy is somewhat difficult, but all of them are. None of the red-eyed enemies are particularly easy. So take your time. This helps. If you can get him in the back, break his poise, and knock him down, that will help a lot. You get a red mercury essence and a brilliant red feather. And then you can come over here, pick up the item, and make your way up the slope. As you get up here, you're going to see a cave. This is where we want to change our outfit. We're about to encounter summoner enemies who cause quite a bit of despair damage. So go into your items and pick the items that have the highest level of despair resistance. So if you look at what I'm doing, I'm taking my time in doing this just so that you can see, because we don't outfit change a whole lot. I'm looking through everything and keeping an eye on that despair meter. Pick whichever one has the highest amount of despair resistance. And it looks like for the headgear, I'm going to choose the, I think it's the wedding, the Palace Maid's headgear. I thought it would be the wedding one, but, and then the bridal jacket or the delicate armor. They have pretty high amounts. I think we stick with the delicate armor. Then gloves. I think we go with the Palace Maid's bracelet. And then bottoms, it should be that the Palace Maid's leggings. Those of the items that I have at the moment, those seem to be the ones that have the highest amount of despair resistance. And then for your items, you have certain items that will mitigate despair. And there are also pills that will lessen all status effects. I can't remember what the name of the pill is. Maybe the fixed origin pill. See, that one is just for flames. That one, yeah, fixed origin pill. So you may want to put that in your inventory just in case your despair level starts to get too high. You can take that pill and it will help to reduce your despair. So when you're ready, run here, run past all of these enemies. Don't bother fighting them because that summoner straight ahead is causing despair damage on you. And he's also going to summon several spell enemies. Watch for the rolling ball. This guy is going to spit blight. That's the green mist, the blight. Keep going straight. Just keep on running. There are going to be enemies spawning in and out, and you're going to have blight and all this other stuff. Keep an eye on your health. And when you get over here, you want to turn to the right, and we're going to have to drop down twice in order, or 3 times, in order to get to where this summoner enemy is. As soon as you possibly can, take him out, because you can see that despair meter is steadily going up. Once he's taken care of, the despair will stop. It'll just slowly start going down. Now, in this area, there are 4 statues that you can read. You don't have to. You just can. Actually, I thought they were mechanisms to like move a floor or something. I was surprised when it was just information. And then come and open up this large golden chest so that we can grab the Forgotten Remembrance. This should be your 5th Forgotten Remembrance. Here, I'm changing my armor back. You don't have to. I just am. Later on, we're not even going to bother changing the armor back because we're going to have so many of those despair enemies. It's really not even worth it. But right now, you can change your armor back if you like. You don't have to. You can see that I died, so you saw a cut. But just make your way down the path. There's only one way that you can go. When you get here, there's an enemy up top. Off to the right, there is an enemy and an item. I missed. I died during the time that I filmed it, so you don't get to see that. And then off to the left in the corner right there, I think there is also an item. Anyway, none of those are super important items. Make your way down the only path that you can. Watch for falling clams. And when you get here, there's a bow enemy that's waiting. You can see I died. I had to pick up all my essence. If you can sneak up behind him and get a poise break, that will be very helpful. Again, there's only one way that we can go. We have to go up this ladder. Now we will make our way back around so we can pick up any items that we missed before taking out that despair summoner. But we have to go through to get back to the beginning. Once you get to the top of the ladder, you can go to the left. There's an enemy to the right, but if you go to the left, there's a summoner enemy that you can take out here. This one does not cause despair. And right next to him is a brilliant red feather. You'll probably want to grab that. And then head back over to where we came from. The other path just leads us to an area that we've already been to. So head this way to the exit from this large tree hollow. Take out this enemy before you try to open up that chest. He's gonna make your life miserable if you don't take him out first. He's just a regular enemy, but he's very heavily armored, so it could take a little while to get rid of him. And when you're done, come over here and open this up for Jade Pendant number 20. Very important item. I know most of the time there are benedictions in those boxes, but this time you definitely don't want to pass that up. We need to collect every Jade Pendant. So as you exit, make your way across this bridge and you'll see the white-robed elder standing off to the side. You need to stop and speak with him. His storyline is very important for specific endings to the story. So make sure you speak to him. Now, once you're done with that, you can see we're pretty high up now. I don't know how we managed to get this high. Seems like just a couple minutes ago we were on the ground, but okay. Make your way over this wooden bridge. You'll see a tree that's hollowed out right in front. There should be clam enemies in here. Yeah, they'll drop down, so watch out for them. And once they're taken care of, you can grab the item that's inside. And then work your way along the normal path. You're going to see there is a humanoid enemy to the right. Just take him out so he's not a nuisance. And then there's a bow enemy directly ahead. Take out the enemy before speaking to the woman in that little hut. Pick up the item and then walk over to this hut. You can speak to the NPC inside. This isn't necessary, but it does, you know, give a little bit of information about these bird-like enemies, that they're bow enemies, and kind of what's going on, like what they're doing. There's a trap right there. Every time I have passed here, I've been hit by that trap. I don't know what triggers it. I have no idea, but it's there, so please be careful. When you come to this area past the trap, make sure you knock down the ladder that's to the left. This is a shortcut ladder back to the other shortcut ladder to the shrine, as you can see here. So we're going to make our way down to the shrine right now. We have quite a bit of red mercury at this point. It's been a while since we last saw the shrine and we've defeated a lot of enemies. So I'll quickly go through and get some upgrades done. Don't forget about your mana vase upgrades as well. And that's going to do it for this video. So thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe so that you're always notified when I come out with a new video or a new guide. And I can't wait to see you here in part 19. Until then, Khajiit always has wares.